couldn't make any more bluffs. I exaggeratedly drooped my shoulders and heaved a sigh from the bottom of my gut. Rena laughed in a shrill way when she saw me do that.
やっぱり圭一くん、お料理全然自信なんかなかったんだね。
Apparently not. So I've been found out. Ugh.
もしも圭一くんがどんなに頑張っても無理そうだったら、レナに電話してもいいからね。
You mean cheat? Well, the club activities are not strangers to cheating and going the desperate mile like Keiichi, so
本当か？
圭一くんがちゃんと頑張ったらだよ。何も苦労しないで人に頼ろうとしちゃダメなんだから。
So you'll be there to check on us first? Rena seemed naive. Sometimes she was instructive. She didn't just spoil people unconditionally. Rena always seemed like an adult at these moments.
どうしてもダメだったら電話するよ。その確率は極めて高いが。
ファイト、おーだよ。
ファイト、おー。
さとこちゃんにあれだけ大見栄を切ったんだから頑張らなきゃね。
なあ、さとこってどの程度の料理ができるんだ？
少なくとも圭一くんよりはできるよ。
That was so direct. He hit me pretty hard.
さとこちゃんをあれだけいじめたんだから、圭一くんはちょっぴり苦労をしてもいいかもね。
レナって結構意地悪なのな。
レナは可愛いだけじゃないんだよ。だよ。
Now that I provoked Satoko that much, I couldn't just make some crummy bento. I can't believe how loose-lipped I am.
じゃあね、頑張ってね。お料理圭一くんがやればできるってことみんなに見せてあげようね。
おう。
Well, thank you, sweetie. Bye. I waved my hand absently in response. Such a cute baby. Leaving me with words of encouragement and a few pieces of super beginner advice, Rena disappeared past the trees. Alright, well, it's you and me, buddy. Time for us to work this out. Fine. I'm desperate. So what? I may not know the ABCs of navigation. I have neither sea chart nor compass. But still, one idiot is taking on the ocean of the great cooking age alone. Yeah, I mean, think about it this way, Keiichi. Humans have survived for millions and well, I don't know about millions of years ago, but nonetheless, we have evolved from sticks and stones and have made food for ourselves. And those humans, well, they were not the smartest back then. We are smarter than an average caveman. I'm sure that we can get something done. And his name is Keiichi Maebara.
よし、いざ料理。
My enthusiasm is peerless. If energy and recklessness was all it took, I could take over the world. However, there are plenty of things in the world that can't be achieved with resolution alone. And cooking was probably the top contender. Therefore, even if it was hastily prepared knowledge, I wanted something to help. Oh. You know what? Actually, never mind. I only have a magic of spells and such. I don't think I have like anything to offer right over here, so I made up my mind and fished through the kitchen cabinets. And now, I don't think that like creating like some bento with magic is the way to go. Like it's too easy. Like sorry Keiichi, I cannot just do that. I wasn't a bunt for a cookbook. My mom should have had a few of them. For a complete amateur like me, the first thing I needed was information. Just like he who would cross the oceans needed a compass. For me, a cookbook was absolutely indispensable. Oh, here's one. This one out. A wrinkled cover made it feel somewhat reliable. Okay. As long as I got this.
考えるより産むが安しだな。お料理の本さえあれば誰だってシェフの味が出せるじゃんよ。さすがはお料理の本。
And as such optimistic thoughts filled my chest, I flipped through the pages. However,
No.
you played with technical terminology like toys. I just couldn't see how to actually make things. Ah, you knew it all along, Keiichi Maebara. If anyone can make delicious food just by reading a book, then there will be no such job as gourmet chef in the first place. First off, it calls for 3 teaspoons. But which spoon is that? And it keeps saying to use however much you like. Which exactly are you supposed to use? Even such obscure expressions. Straight onto the water in a colander. Add salt and pepper to taste? The heck is a colander? I strain it out? Like, stretching? You cannot stretch water droplets like meat. Ah. Besides, how much salt and pepper is that supposed to be anyway? Just throw the book into the wall and just destroy it. Lo and behold, this is another one of those moments that I described in the first episode and such. Of how, like, what we see is not exactly what we see. And some murder happened. Like, one of the characters starts to become a demon, and afterwards we see a hole in the wall, and we ask ourselves, what the fuck happened here? Like a demon just popped out of the wall. Nah, there is a cookbook there. It won't do you any good to yell, Keiichi Maebara. Cool off, Keiichi Maebara. Think calm. Calm. For now, I'll leave the side dish until after. The rice is more important. To cook the rice, or I cannot start. I know a little about how to cook rice. I didn't cook it with my camping kit when camping all the time for nothing. Okay, I'll wash the rice. That should be enough water. And which switch is it? Is it this button? Oh, okay, the lamp turned on. Yeah, fully automatic rice cookers are one of the 3 sacred treasures after all. Now pleased by the rice cooker set, I pulled myself together and decided to take on the miso soup next. The miso soup I made at day camp was all the instant kind after all. Well, it would be fine if I just melted the miso into hot water, no doubt. Boil the water and put in the miso. Eh? How much should I put in?
何何
Nani?
人数とお好みで適量にまたしても抽象表現かああそれなら適量に入れてやるさ
Just put it all. I crushed a bag of miso in my fist and put half of its content in the pot. What was this, really okay? Maybe this was a little too hearty?
うんうん濃厚なお味の味噌汁がいいって言うもんなそういえばお袋の味噌汁は少し薄すぎる気がしてたんだ俺にはこれくらい入れた方が合うかもしれない
I said it aloud as if trying to convince myself. Then, convinced by my own words, I nodded to myself. Alright, the rice and miso soup were probably fine. Next, the side dish. But what should I make? Something I could make that would add color to the meal. that's it. Why not I stir fry some vegetables? You can eat vegetables raw too, and they won't die just from a little bit of fire. Oh, there is a problem overcooking them. Oh, so cute then. Not realizing that a lot of my thoughts have fallen from what would look great in a meal to what would be easy to make. There were quite a few vegetables in the refrigerator. What kind of vegetables go in a stir fry? Bean sprout? Cabbage? Ew. Chives? Onion? Can you put cucumbers under this thing? For now, I grabbed a nearby cutting board, cut them into chunks, and tossed them into a wok. This has gotten pretty exciting. Is the true worth of men's cooking? Hey, this is actually getting kind of funny. All of a sudden, there was a pile of vegetables in the wok. Alright, next is a salad oil. Look, with the salad oil. It'd be more exciting if I filled it to the brim. Oops. A bit left out. Well, no point in worrying about something so minor. The great Keiichi Maebara's cooking is exciting! Sure. Okay, let's turn on the heat. Oh god, the house is on fire. Oh god. We're turning into Kinzo meat. Whoosh. The salad oil filling the wok to the brim caught fire. And flames reached up to the sky.
すげえなんだか俺って鉄人って感じ俺ってひょっとして炎の料理人なんじゃ
Those words were spoken by delusion. I was saying something outrageously careless. But when the words came out, they sort of convinced me.
そうさ俺は料理の鉄人
Yes! Yes, Keiichi Maebara, yes!
あちゃちゃちゃちゃちゃ
Right as a crazy pillar of flames started to burn the city, I finally realized that the fabulous cooking before my eyes had culminated into an actually life-threatening disaster. Wait, what? Could I have been doing something insane? The force of the flame grew stronger and stronger. Wait, what? Ah, Satoko!
何をしてるでございますの早く火を止めなさいですわ
Oh, thank God that somebody's watching over me. Somebody forcefully struck me in the back of the head. When I turned around to see what was going on, to my surprise, I saw Satoko and Rika-chan there.
えサトコリカちゃん
As I stood in wonder at their unexpected entrance, Satoko shoved me out of the way and turned off the gas. Then Rika-chan got a towel, soaked it in water, spread it out, and placed it over the pot. She continued to soak more towels, and put on a second on, then a third. Once a whole bunch were piled on, the fire finally stopped. All of it happened in a few moments. Having avoided a huge fire by a hair's breadth, the three of us gasped for air.
ってお前らなんで俺の家にいるんだ
Oh. You know, I was expecting Rena to kind of look over our shoulder in secret from somewhere far away. Not in a horrific horror way, thank God. But, you know, just to check on us. I mean, she did say that we could ask for her help if things are going bad. By you, Satoko and Rika?
住居不法侵入だぞ
Well, you're telling me that you already finished your food?
それを言うなら圭一さんなんか放火の現行犯でございますのよもうすぐで大火事になるところだったではございません圭一は今日から宿なしでかわいそなのです
I mean, how can you tell that this is real fire? Maybe this is all part of an illusion, and you girls are gonna have to solve some mystery in order to see what truly happened here. Can you truly believe your eyes? I questioned it before. I thought that I could believe my eyes before, but... And after pretending to be an iron chef, I finally began to take in the situation.
やっぱりあれは火事になりかけてた。
当たり前でございませんの。ほらご覧なさいませ。天井がすすけてるではございません。すすけていいのは男の背中だけですのよ。
Nah, it's gonna be fine. Satoko was seriously mad at me. Maybe they saved my life. According to what they said, I was so absorbed in my fiery cooking that I hadn't noticed when Satoko and Rika-chan rang the doorbell. But I could tell someone was home, so they came in to check. Thank God for that opened garage door. Thank goodness, they did.
僕とサトコが来なかったら今頃ボーボーで消防車がうーなのです。
Po po, ooh.
圭一さん、そろそろ事の重大さが飲み込めまして。
Ooh. Here comes Maria, the police. Ooh. At some point, I had sat down on my knees as I listened to Billy.
すみませんでした。皆さんは命の恩人です。
素敵なディナーがどんなものかと来てみれば、案の定このざまですし、これじゃ出来上がりを見るまでもありませんわね。
嫌味なやつ。じゃあサトコたち、俺が夕食にどんなものを作るか見に来たってわけか。
その嫌味に命と家を助けられたの、よーく肝に銘じた方がよろしいのではありません？
はい、すみませんでした、サトコさん。
At this point, having shown them such a disaster, I couldn't exactly make any more bluffs. I completely surrendered.
カレーの時は結構頑張ってましたのに、あの時のケイチさんはどこに行ってしまいましたの？まったく。
あの時は後輩職に手伝ってもらって他の班の鍋を丸ごと借りただけで、別に俺が料理したわけじゃ。
Yeah, I mean, again, during harsh situations, it can bring out the worst in Keiichi. He was on his demon time at that point. He got that demon in him.
ケイチさん、そんなズルをしてましたの？まったく、いくら部活とはいえとんでもない手を使いますのね。
Pouring salt into the other team's pot seemed far more terrible to me. I guess they didn't figure that out like last time. I guess this is the first time that they are hearing this. But Satoko was in control right now, so I couldn't respond. I ability hang my head to her.
ところでケイチさん、この凄まじいお鍋、まさか味噌汁だなんて言わないでしょうね。
Satoko stared at the pot, totally full of miso, with an awful expression. So I really did get the amount wrong. Judging by the look on Satoko's face, whatever was in the pot couldn't be called miso anymore.
味噌汁はともかく、ご飯はうまく炊けたはずだ。最近の炊飯器は便利だからな。きっとそろそろ炊けてる頃だ。
Me.
炊けてないです。
I missed that. Me.
ほら、まだ中身も全然お水なのですよ。
あれだってちゃんとスイッチを入れたらランプが点灯して。
ケイチさん、あなたが押したボタン、これタイマーのボタンですのよ。朝食用にセットしてあるから、電源が入るのは明日の早朝でしたよ。
You have a timer for that long? What the fuck would put such a long timer like that?
ってことは何か？
Of course, Keiichi would, but who would design it like that? Oh. You know, food can take really, really long hours to prepare. Some of them, so, I guess.
俺は結局、おかずはもとより、味噌汁も、ご飯すらも、何も自炊できなかったってことかー。
ざまありませんわね。どうです？ようやく身の程を思い知りまして。さあ、認めなさいませ。
Keiichi's place is back in the couch watching TV. No cooking for him, I guess.
私前原圭一は北条聡子さんよりもお料理の下手っぴな口先男でしたって。
Putting men in place, am I right?
いやー、私は里子より料理の下手っぴなダメダメ男でございました。どうもすみませんでした。
Man, what a sad display here, Keiichi Maebara. Naga. I fainted in agony. Hirika-chan pat my head, satisfied at sight, and Satoko laughed loudly in triumph. I've completely lost. In the end, I talked big, but couldn't make a single dish adequately. At this rate, I'll go without dinner. And tomorrow morning, no breakfast, and no bento for lunch either. I didn't know how many days it'll be before my parents returned, but at this rate, without a doubt.
飢え死にだ
みー。
もちろん明日の弁当もなし。
Look at there. Singing her mees. They're probably cooking something right now while Keiichi is in agony.
そして明日の罰ゲームも俺で決まり。ギャー
Me. Hirika-chan kept on patting my head with a smile on her face that couldn't possibly get any bigger. Satoko, completely appalled at how unsightly I looked, heaved a heavy sigh.
大の男が情けないったらありゃしませんのね。ほら、おどき遊ばせ。
As I sobbed like a girl, Satoko, displeased, brushed me aside, dumped the remains of the miso soup into the sink tidy, then began to rinse out the pot.
いいよ、里子。自分の後片付けくらい俺がやるよ。
At least let him have it. If he's not a good cook, then maybe he can be a good cleaner in the house. I mean, how is he gonna be able to fulfill his role in the house in the future as wife if he cannot even do that? I can have Satoko clean up the cooking utensils I made a mess of. But when I tried to stop her, Rika-chan pulled on my clothes.
圭一は黙って見ているといいのですよ。
She grinned as she said it.
黙って見てろって何言ってるんだ、リカちゃん。
まあ、そういうことですわね。圭一さんは黙って私に任せればいいんですのよ。
Satoko turned around and declared, seeming bothered, as if to say that amateurs should keep their hands off. Her annoyed expression was a little scary.
任せるって何を？
Satoko didn't answer. Instead, she spun back around and began to rifle through the pots and refrigerator.
おいおい、あまりいじり回すなよ。ひっくり返したりしたら俺が後でお袋に怒られるんだからな。
Is it gonna be any different than what you were gonna do by yourself?
うるさい男ですわね。男子厨房に立ち入らずでしたよ。
Oof. Burn. The same kind of burn that you were about to do here, Keiichi.
リカ？あいあいさですよ。
Satoko snapped her fingers, and Rika-chan got on her tiptoes, grabbed me by the back of my neck, and started dragging me away. Such cute babies. Leaving Satoko alone in the kitchen, Rika-chan dragged me back into the living room.
おいおい、リカちゃん。もう話してくれよ。里子に任せたら台所が大変なことに。
今日の聡子は圭一を見返しに来たのですよ。復讐なのです。
復讐？そういえば、サトコのやつ、どこか険しい顔を。
Eventually, from the kitchen, there was the sound of a faucet being twisted and a stove dial being turned. I began to hear the nostalgic sounds that made me envision dinner time. The refrigerator opening and closing. Ingredients being cut on the chopping board. What did that mean? Was Satoko... was she cooking? Oh my god!
圭一にいっぱいいっぱいバカにされましたですから。サトコは自分にもお料理がちゃんとできるところを圭一に見せたかったのですよ。
こうして音だけ聞いてる限りでは、お皿を落とす音も、破裂音も爆発音も聞こえてこないな。
At this point, at least, she had proven she was more skillful cook than me. In the cooking showdown with Satoko Hojo versus Keiichi Maebara, it looked like victory had already been decided. I recalled Satoko's slightly annoyed expression from before.
俺、日中サトコのことをちょっとバカにしすぎちゃったよな。ひょっとして、それで根に持たれた？
We were just provoking each other with our usual back and forth. But I also think I maybe overdid it. At the very least, I shouldn't have made fun of Satoko, who could cook for herself, when I never cooked other than for recreation before.
サトコはそんなの根に持っていませんです。
でも、こうしてわざわざ俺のところまで押しかけてきたくらいだろ。やっぱり怒ってるに違いないよ。
I quietly took a peek into the kitchen. She definitely looked different than the usual bird-brained Satoko. Her eyes were sharp, and her movements were brisk, to the point where it was a little scary. Then she must have noticed me, because she turned around and shot me an annoyed glare. I cringed in fear and hastily pulled my head back out. Yeah, don't peek your back. Don't peek too much, otherwise you're gonna get sniped.
怒ってる!
Your head is gonna explode.
やっぱり怒ってる! ああ、俺はどんな復讐をされるんだろう!
Okay, let's talk about something right over here, folks. Let's go back to the topic of Satoshi. Cause well, we've learned about the existence of Satoshi in the first episode. And all that. I made my comments about Satoshi, about the possibility, like about Satoshi's possible role from episode 2's perspective and all that. About the whole boyfriend thing and how Keiichi and Satoshi would be paralleled in that episode as well when it comes to Mion and Shion. You can check that episode, like, when you can if you are new. If you are new, then welcome. For those of you who have already heard my thoughts about Satoshi in episode 2 and all that, you can go back and check that out. Well, it surely feels like we're gonna have like another Satoshi and Keiichi parallel right over here, in my honest opinion. But this time from a little bit of Satoko's perspective, because Satoshi is Satoko's brother, you know. These episodes, from what I can see, they're definitely gonna be focused on each girl. Rena was mostly the focus of the first episode. Mion and Shion were the focus of the second episode, the second chapter. And now it seems that the focus is gonna be on Satoko. That's how it feels like. I mean, even the game logos on Steam surely tell me that. So it kind of makes me think that we're gonna have some Satoko-centered story right over here, and maybe we're gonna have some parallels with Satoshi here. In that sense, what Satoko is going through right over here, making food, it may have been similar to what she had back when Satoshi was, still here. That Satoshi may have been a fuck-up as well when it comes to cooking. And Satoko was the bigger sister who would cook the meals for his little brother. Well, the mother was also like the aunt was still alive at that point as well, so she would be making the food as well. But who knows, maybe Satoko made food for Satoshi as well when he was still here. And this is a little bit of a parallel to that. Yeah, who knows? It could be something like that.
サトコは失敗したくないから真剣なだけなのです。怒ってなんかいないのですよ。
あれのどこが怒ってないって言うんだよ。あんなおっかなそうなサトコ初めて見たよ。
Really?
ケイイチさん、ちょっと聞こえてますの？
はい。
Man, Keiichi, you're being a chicken. I jumped at Satoko's angry outburst and faced towards the kitchen. Felt exactly like a kid who had done something bad and gone cold to the teacher's lounge. Then again, maybe I should be a little bit, maybe I should pay attention a little bit more. She did have the power to punch my teeth out.
お味噌ってどこにしまってありますの？冷蔵庫がでかくて全然わかりませんですわよ。
すみません。味噌はその冷蔵庫の中段扉の中の下の網棚の左奥に。
なんですのこれは。お味噌のパックは使ったらちゃんと口を閉じなさいですわよ。冷蔵庫の中がお味噌で汚れてしまってるではありませんの。
いやすみません。
Before I can look for something to wipe it with, Satoko wiped it off with a wet dish towel.
まったく、男の人ってのはどうしてこう後片付けがずさんなんでございますの？そのまま大人になったらと思うとゾッとしましたよ。
I couldn't talk back to Satoko today. The only thing I could do was openly lower my head and apologize. As Satoko nitpicked and I apologized, a good smell began to fill the kitchen.
お味噌汁のお味噌はこう。お玉に少量をすくい取ってお箸で溶きながら、少しずつ加えて味見をしながら慎重にですのよ。丸ごとひねり出してお鍋に開けちゃうなんて言語道断でしたよ。
すみません。家庭科の授業は真面目にやってませんでした。
情けない。まったく、これだから男の人は。
Man, am I right? I mean, I'm man as well. I cowered at her annoyed sounding muttering. But looking at her like this, she seemed quite good at cooking. And just being overshadowed by Rena's and Rika-chan's artistic abilities. Satoko's skills were clearly enough to get passing marks.
さあさあ、そんなところでぼーっとしてる暇がございましたら、食卓にお茶碗の用意をなさいませ。
Yeah, you can at least do that. Right, Keiichi?
私もリカも食べますから、用意は3人分ですわよ。
はい。
Yes, master. Right away. I hastily took a few people's worth of dishes and such from the cabinets and headed to the dining room. When I returned there, I could hear laughter from a variety show on the television. Rika-chan was sprawled out on the couch, watching television and relaxing. Watching some TV. When she noticed me putting the dishes out on the table, she came scampering up. Ooh, were you watching Japanese Spider-Man there?
もうすぐご飯なのです。ケイイチのうちでご飯なのです。ニパー、ニパー、ニパー、ニパー、ニパー。ニパー、ニパー、ニパー。
it is. The infamous Nipah. It's here. Like, looking at that word, it kind of makes me feel woozy. It feels like the more I look at that word, the more my brain is gonna melt.
リカちゃんは上機嫌みたいだな。サトコの不機嫌とはえらい違いだ。
サトコは全然不機嫌じゃないです。久しぶりにとても楽しそうなのですよ。
And if I'm to think back on what I just said like a couple of minutes ago about Satoshi, yeah. Maybe you would also remind her of those sweet times when Satoshi was still here and she would make food for him. Or, you know, of those times when they ate together and all that.
楽しそう？あれがか？
サトコがニーニーと一緒だった頃みたいです。
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. Like, you're gonna spell it out for me, like, straight like that.
こんなに楽しそうなサトコを見るのは本当に久しぶりなのですよ。
Nini? The heck is Nini? Is this a sound cats make?
ニーニーはニーニーです。サトコのお兄さんなのですよ。
サトコの兄。
サトシと言いますです。名前くらい聞いたことがありませんですか？
Satoshi. Satoshi Hojo? Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. At least, he didn't go to our school.
サトシっていうのか。サトコの兄貴は。初めて聞いたな。
She had a brother, huh? I didn't know that.
いるのですよ。
Saying that, Rika-chan grinned even more brightly and went, Nipah! Again.
サトシと一緒にいる時のサトコはいつもこんな風で楽しそうだったのですよ。本当に久しぶりにこんな楽しそうなサトコを見ますのです。
However, I looked at it. She seemed to be in a bad mood. But her good friend Rika-chan was saying that it was actually the opposite.
楽しそうなのか。
きっとニーニーと一緒だった頃を思い出してるに違いないのです。懐かしいのですよ。
懐かしい？じゃあ今はサトコとは別居なのか。
Maybe Satoko's older brother Satoshi is actually a lot older than her? He must have gone off on his own and was living by himself far away.
サトコはそのサトシって兄と仲は良かったみたいだな。
はい。とても仲良しな兄弟だったです。
She spread her arms wide to demonstrate the width of how well they got along. Yeah, such cute babies. According to Rika-chan, Satoko supported her docile, slightly unreliable older brother through her nagging. Also, let's not, like, we noticed that Rika is kind of dodging the topic of how he just disappeared. She's not gonna mention it here, of course. That was their relationship. I see. That certainly applied to the current situation. He had me, unreliable, unable to cook even a single dish properly, and Satoko, who redid it well scoldingly. Could Satoko have been getting a glimpse of her brother, who now lived far away through me?
いつもあんな感じでサトシに小言を言いながら、だけどしっかりと支えながら仲良く生活してたんだな。
Oh?
今日圭一のところへ来たのだってサトコが言い出したのですよ。
She said, "There's no way the unreliable Keiji-san could possibly make dinner. Oh, 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 oh. We need to go make it for him."
じゃあ別に復讐とか見返すとかそういう意味で来たんじゃなかったのか。
放っておけなかったのですよ。サトコは今でもしっかり者の妹なのです。
You know, maybe this is me being an untrusting little fuck right now. I don't know. But I feel like Rika is dodging something right over here. Maybe, it could be possible. I mean, we know what happened with Mion and Shion in the last chapter, so... So he said, she didn't come here to get revenge, or to get even, or anything like that, right? Rika-chan is not gonna mention revenge or anything like that. But she is gonna answer with something else. She couldn't leave you alone. That still doesn't answer our question. Maybe she does have some beef with us. Who knows? I'm just saying, out of all the girls, I feel like Rika is the type that would answer really, really carefully with everything. I was an only child. I didn't know how it felt to have siblings. Of course, I never had a little sister like Satoko. But I felt that in this moment, I was an older brother, willingly and helplessly being looked after by her. And again, it's not like we have like any reason for why she would have revenge on Keiichi to begin with. I mean, besides the whole cooking thing, of course, and all that. But I doubt that it's anything huge. Then again, Chapter 2 and the disaster that happened all started with a freaking puppet doll, so... let's hope that what happened this time, like with Satoko, is not gonna explode into anything. Without any teasing or messing around. I'm going to give thanks for her trouble. And that's what I honestly thought.
ケイチさん、おしゃもじがどこにあるかわかりませんでしたよ。
ああ、ごめん。しゃもじはその右脇の引き出しの中に。
I ran into the kitchen, got the letter out of the drawer, and offered it to Satoko.
さあ、出来上がりでしたよ。もうお茶碗とかは準備できてますの？
Baby!
ああ、もう準備 OK だぜ。
では、ご飯にしましょうですわね。リカ、お夕飯ですわよ。みー。
I heard Rika-chan's effervescent voice coming from the dining room. Satoko turned off the gas flame on the stove and lifted up the pot of miso soup.
ケイチさんは炊飯器を持ってきてくださいます？ひっくり返さないように注意するんですのよ。
ああ、気をつけるよ。
Keiichi being all, "Yes, my rat queen. I'll do as you please." Kei rice cookers just fine without being warned about it. I thought about replying like that, but I decided not to. No mean words or witty retorts today. Rice with steam billowing from it, and miso soup, as well as a handful of side dishes. On the table was a truly firm, family-oriented dinner. It wasn't weird at all, or extravagant. It was a daily meal, the sort a housewife would make. He was very nonchalant and brimming with liveliness.
では、いただきますですわよ。
いただきます。
いただきます。
At Satoko's command, Rika-chan and I both thanked her in a loud voice.
俺、サトコのことは侮ってたよ。完全に敗北だ。
少しは見直しまして。リカやレナさんに比べれば私もまだまだですけど、頼りないケイチさんなんかよりはよっぽどお料理ができましたよ。
Yeah.
へいへい、おみそれしやした。
After I honestly admitted my defeat, Satoko's expression finally softened, and she left with her normally loud and cheerful voice.
お、ご飯いい感じで炊き上がってるな。
Though she used the rice cooker, it tasted a little different from the rice my mom made. Maybe she used a different amount of water for it. Even so, I could feel Satoko's personality from the rice, which made it taste better than usual. The miso soup was a little on the thick side, but it was still delicious. The side dishes, while not exactly flashy, tasted great as well. It was all so appetizing, I couldn't stop eating.
おかずもよくできてるよ。サトコも 決して料理は下手じゃないぞ。
I gave my honest impression, without a hint of sarcasm. Satoko seemed to have been expecting some, because when I praised her so honestly, she got flustered instead.
褒められるのは光栄ですけど、そんなに立派ではありませんのよ。おかずはお惣菜屋さんで買ったものを温めただけですし、これとこれは缶詰を開けただけですし、自分でちゃんと作ったのはご飯と味噌汁だけなんですのよ。
Satoko said, embarrassed, her face a bit flushed. There was none of her normal verbal abuse or sarcasm in there either.
ご飯とお味噌汁しか作ってませんけど、出来合いのおかずを並べればそこそこに立派にはなりますのよね。
うちのお袋だって出来合いのお惣菜は使うし、缶詰だって使うよ。そんなので恥ずかしがることはないだろう。これは立派な夕食だよ。
I gave her honest praise. I've never met Satoko's brother, but Satoshi would probably praise her in the same way.
私にもそこそこのお料理ができることが分かっていただけたのでしたら、それで十分ですわね。おかわりいります？お味噌汁はまだありますですわよ。
Huh? Did that brat just awkwardly change the subject? Yeah. It is a touchy subject, I guess. When I realized my response had been on the mark, it made me a little happy.